Thanks for coming out today. It's nice to see everyone here. At this time, I have the privilege of serving our community as deputy mayor. On September 11, 2001, I had the privilege of serving this community as a police officer with the borough's police department. And I've been asked to just make some brief comments in that regard, and that's what I'll do. Naturally, on that morning, it took some time for it to set in what was happening in our country. Just like everybody else, I happened to be not working that day. I was at home in my living room. I had plans for the day, like most people did. Everybody did. But it didn't take long until I knew what was happening, as everyone else was coming to the realization at the same time. And probably within inside of a half an hour, my phone rang, as I was still standing in my living room watching the TV, feeling completely helpless. And it was our tried and true secretary at the time, Diane Forrester, since retired. And she just said, "They need people, can you go?" I said, "I'll be right there." So within about 15 minutes, I went down to the police department. And in the half hour that ensued, every single one of my coworkers walked through the door with a hastily assembled bag ready to go. For us, that was natural because we were all feeling helpless in our role as first responders, whether it be police, fire, or EMS. We feel like when something happens, we have to jump in and help. So when we got that, each of us got that call, it's like, absolutely. We don't want enough stand and watch, and it's time to do something. And luckily, our community's first responders weren't the only ones who took that approach. And as it turned out, we only got a short distance there before we got word from Ground Zero that they actually had more first responders than they know what to do with at that time. So we weren't actually needed, and we never actually went all the way up there. But it definitely changed. From that point forward, it changed the perspective, the way I think in a small town like Medford Lakes, we've all heard the jokes about, nothing ever happens here, and it's a safe community, and for the most part, all those things are true. And with the help of our first responders, it'll continue to be that way. But the truth of the matter is that no matter where any first responder works, no matter what community in our country they work in, there's risk there, and there's uncertainty every single day. So it's something that now that I'm a civilian, that really I think we all need to keep in mind, that every day when our emergency services personnel go to work, it'll probably be a routine, relatively uneventful day, but there's always that chance. So, but I think it's important that we don't necessarily dwell in the past. We pay respect and honor those who have lost their lives in these tragic circumstances, and of course the men and women of the military and first responders all through our country who have sacrificed their lives so the rest of us could live in peace, safely. But through this memorial, I think that the community has really developed a nice way to pay that tribute. It's not dwelling in the past, it's paying tribute and respect, and just remembering those who gave their lives for us in our country and those who lost their lives under such tragic circumstances. But when I look at our community now here today, and I look at what's come together here, our emergency services are more...
This could be bad because I'm a mush now, so you're not going to be able to hear me from this point forward. It helps when it's easy. ways, different ways. And that's what really makes our community so strong. Is that if there's a tragedy, or even if there's not, whatever's needed in the community, we know we have people here who are going to help us out to get it done. And if the rest of the country has the same kind of people that we have here in town, then I'd say we're in pretty good shape. We don't have much to worry about. This is a major accomplishment right here, and I've seen it before in other areas when other things happen.
Thank you. When the flood occurred and everything, the way the community came together for that, but I'm still amazed when I look at what has transpired here in the park, and that nice entrance over there. That I don't know, that's amazing. I don't know how you did that so quickly, because you weren't on the radar to do that at all.
George Weicker. George Weicker.
George Weicker. Okay.
Gary
George Weicker. There you go.
Gary
You guys really pulled it together nicely, and it looks great. I've already talked much longer than I should have. So in closing, I just want to thank everybody who came out today to the rededication, and thanks again to everybody who put the time and effort into this project. And it's nice our communities will be able to enjoy it for years to come. Thank you.
Dave Wasson up for